the elephant in the room, something that's going on very big with a good friend of mine. I want to get your perspective on it. Everybody has asked me to talk about it on the podcast and on my Instagram. And society is trying to cancel Tony Hinchcliffe because
Yeah.
of his racist rant, which, as a person of color, there's not a racist bone in Tony's body. I just want to say
Unless the
that.
black dude's fucking him.
But dog, like honestly, that word that he said, until this year, I didn't know that was a bad word for Asians.
Oh, really?
I didn't know that the C word was a bad word.
Not cunt.
Right, not yeah, not that one. It's the other one. But I was sent the video where he made the post. I think they sent it to me Monday or Tuesday, and I was like, oh, okay. Tony, all right, this guy hates Tony, or this guy, obviously trying to sabotage Tony. And I was like, oh, okay, cool, whatever. And then like Tuesday, it blew up.
Yeah, and we actually on my podcast, the Hollingsworth, we talked about it and about the whole thing. And this is kind of what we talked about. Is we were saying a couple things. One, if you, which I'm sure all your listeners know, but if you don't know Tony Hinchcliffe, he roast battle,
Right?
He roasts this and that. Two, we don't see the video beforehand, guy.
Man, come on, bro. Hold on. Let me read this quote from. Let me read this quote from Patrice. Patrice said it best. Funny jokes and unfunny jokes come out of the same birth. You don't know if anything is going to be funny before you say it. You should be able to attempt to make anything funny. R.I.P. Patrice O'Neal.
Yeah.
That's a great saying. And I'm not trying to say what, take up for what Tony said, because like in the state that we're in right now with the Stop Asian Hate and, the acts of violence going towards Asian people are real timid right now. People are real like no, it was just like the wrong.
Yeah.
Like if this would have happened 6 months ago,
yeah,
it may not have had it as a big effect, but because it's going on right now, when there's acts of violence going towards people of Asian descent, it's not a good time. But I'm not taking up for what Tony said, because like the example that I said to my friend, I said, Tony was set up. It's obvious.
Yeah.
It's obvious he was set up, and this is why it's so important to not record comedians at shows, because the stage is sacred. The stage is very, very sacred in my eyes. Like that's a sacred place. That should be a safe space, and whatever you want to spew out should be able to be said on stage. You got to take the consequences of what come out of your mouth, regardless of what you're trying to make it. You got to take those consequences. If I go up there and I bash white people for half an hour and it's not funny, then I got to take the consequences of walking through this audience. And if a white dude wants to knock me out, then it's like, hey, well, I made my bed hard. I got to lay in it. But the rant was Tony, man. It's like
the other thing too is, again, we don't know. I know we have to say all this shit. Like I don't approve of the word, or I don't hate Asian people. And yes, stop Asian hate. It's like you have to.
I don't hate Asian people.
Right.
I love Nikes and Adidas.
That's going to be the clip that they're going to just have for you. And then next week, and people will be going, so what do you think about David Lucas saying this? Oh, fuck. But like, for all I don't know this because we don't know what the guy said. But what if an Asian dude is doing because he was a comic.
Mm-hmm.
So what if he was up there and he's like, I love being referred to as, and he says that slur, and he just does that through the whole set. And I'm going to give you an example.
I don't know, man. Like, my thing is, as a comic, and I've been called the N-word on stage by a white person, other comedian, off stage, and I'm gonna handle it off stage, like, because here's the thing: I want to check you because you might not know any better. You know what I'm saying? You might not know any better. I don't want you to lose your livelihood.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I don't want you to lose your livelihood. I don't want you to lose your manager. I don't want you to lose your agent. I don't want you to lose the way that you make a living, because I may fuck up and say something that's
You just did on the podcast like 5 minutes ago.
I may fuck up one day and say something, and I don't, want somebody to take what I said and try to base my character off of that. Because, like, dog, like, I'll say this for how many other people that listen. Tony Hinchcliffe has gave me more opportunities than any other comic. I'm not saying comics didn't, other comics didn't give me opportunities, but as far as like putting me on another level, this dude has walked me into management companies, agencies.
Well, yeah, it's because you're not Asian.
Put me on shows, introduced me to Joe Rogan. So it's like, man, if that's what you call racism, I love it. Shit, give me more of that racism.
Have you had a chance to talk to him?
Yeah, I talked to Tony.
Yeah.
We've texted and talked on the phone a little bit, and he's still in high spirits, man. Just didn't think it was gonna get blown out of proportion like that. But yeah, man, like I'm like comedy is such a tight knit community, and like the comedian put the video out himself, so it's like,
and he tagged AA
whatever
PI,
yeah. So
Asian American Pacific Islander.
It's like, dog.
Yeah, he's like, happy Asian American Pacific. I was like, God damn.
Piece of advice, dog. You should have let somebody else release that video.
Yeah.
Not from your page, bro. Because now it's just like, man, you don't. It's like the bro code. You know what I'm saying? It's like the bro code, man. It's like, bro, we talk about smashing chicks, and you went out and told the chick.
Did he that night? Was he like everybody? Because when he brought up Tony, he even said like, give it up for like the legend or like the amazing whatever.
So here's the scoop, bro, because I'm in the Austin community very hard. So he had somebody record that. He basically baited Tony into doing that. He knew that because a few weeks earlier, Tony had a Asian heckler who was like standing up trying to fight him or whatever, and the security guards had to take him out. And once they took him out, Tony was like, now that's what I call Chinese takeout. Everybody
I mean, that's a good line.
Great joke. Great joke. You know what I'm saying? Everybody laughed. And so he baited Tony into doing this and had somebody in the audience who I won't mention his name. I actually know the person who recorded the video. And he had this person record the video because he knew that he could bait Tony into doing the Asian material, because he was going to go up there and do his Asian material. And the crazy part about it is he took all of his white people bashing material off of YouTube.
He had a bunch of the Asian dude did.
Yes. So he took all of that off of YouTube.
Wrinkles. Sorry, my dog.
We have a Frenchie right here who thinks my legs taste better than his treats.
Smells cocoa butter.
Yeah, he does. He's not used to that. So
I mean, actually, he is.
Hilarious. So
so the Asian dude took all his white bashing, which I mean, yeah.
So he took it all off just so he can,
yeah.
I don't want to say the word, but so that he could be the official victim.
Yeah.
But that's I think personally, cancel culture is dead. And what I will say is, for everybody who thinks it was bad for Tony is at 200,000 followers. He was at like 180 last week. So this helped. Like,
Jesus,
bro,
that's crazy.
This gave him more notoriety, because the thing is, bro, like, these people who ride these waves of trying to cancel people, they go look at it. Like, bro, he got like 5,000 comments under his last picture. So they go look at everything. And if you watch his stuff, you'll actually like it. Yeah. And if you go watch me and Tony's banters, you'll see that, bro, like, the stuff me and him tell each other is cancel worthy.
Oh, yeah. I mean,